Just for a moment, think of all the lives you've touched. Think of all the laughs during the good times and the cries during the bad. Think of all the goals that you've achieved throughout the times. Today, I will tell you about the consequences and the side effects of abortion. For as long as I can remember, I have been intrigued with the topic of abortion. I have discussed this topic in multiple previous settings, such as classrooms, in church discussion, and informal encounters with family and friends. If you put yourself in a situation where a child would be a result, then you should be ready to care for he or she. Abortion is both physically and emotionally damaging to both the mother and child involved, and can be avoided with other options. First, I will explain the start of life and the developmental stages. Despite contrary beliefs, life begins at an early stage of conception. The heartbeat and internal organs are a crucial part of a developing baby. Life begins much earlier than most people think. According to Mayo Clinic, a baby's heart beats within just 22 days of conception. The previous fact is important because at this point, most women do not even know they are pregnant. According to the American Pregnancy Association, the average woman does not find out they are pregnant until they are about 4 to 6 weeks pregnant. A baby's internal organs are finished forming by the 24th week. The majority of the rest of the pregnancy means that the baby is growing in size and weight. This means that the baby is just as human at 24 weeks old as it is at 24 years old. As Dr. Seuss once said, a person's a person no matter how small. So far, I've discussed the developmental stages of a baby throughout the pregnancy. No matter how small the growing baby, who says they are not to have rights just as much as the mother? A baby's rights are just as important as the mother's during the pregnancy and beyond. Everybody nowadays claims they are so for equality, yet when it comes to abortion, the mother's choice overpowers the baby's rights to his own body. Who are we to choose whose life is more important? When a woman becomes pregnant, they are to follow certain instructions and care for their bodies in a certain way to build it to become the best possible growing environment for the baby. For some women, they cannot change their lifestyle for the short 9 months that they are pregnant. That will affect the child's life for the rest of their life. If you cannot be selfless for 9 months, then you are probably not ready for motherhood, because once you become a mother, you no longer think about yourself first. By aborting a baby, you make the choice to end their life. For all you know, they could have been the next doctor who is going to cure cancer or a future president, but you would never know that because you made the selfish decision to end their life. People argue that women did not choose to end up pregnant, such as in the case of rape. In this case, most people argue pro-choice, because the woman was taken advantage of and should not have to take care of a baby. Just like the mother did not want to get raped and end up pregnant, nor do you think the baby wanted to die. Although rape is terrible, awful, and emotionally scarring experience, which is worse, rape or murder? I have now explained the baby's rights along with the developmental stages of pregnancy. A mother's selfish thoughts could end her child's life. However, if she wants what's truly best for her child, she'll find other options. If the mother and father decided for whatever reasons that they cannot keep the baby, they can always resort to adoption. Adoption is a great alternative for any family in various different situations. There are many different reasons a baby is adopted. For example, if a young couple ended up pregnant and then realizes they are not ready to start a family and cannot financially afford to have a baby at that moment, adoption is a great alternative instead of ending the child's life. If you cannot raise the child for any reason, why not give the gift of life to someone else? According to pregnantpause.org, experts estimate approximately between 1 and 2 million couples that would like to adopt each year. That same organization tells us that there are about 1.3 million adoptions that take place each year. They also state only 4% of women with unwanted pregnancies lean towards adoption. This means that the other 96% either end up keeping their baby that they don't truly want or end up ending their own child's life. Having a child is a very special journey that is very difficult and challenging, but also very beautiful and rewarding. So if someone says that they are not ready to deal with that, then they are not ready to have a baby. And they do not have to resort to abortion, but they can have an adoption. There are many families who would happily take that child in with loving and open arms. Now that you know the alternative options for abortion, I hope that you can see abortion is not the only answer. We have now discussed the stages of development, the baby's rights, and alternative options. Now again, imagine all the laughs you've had, the goals you've achieved, and lives you've touched. You would not be here today listening to me if your parents chose abortion.